The discovery. Chief Science Officer Zara Vex of the Galactic Research Institute floated in her zero-gravity observation pod, her crystalline eyes fixed on the holographic display before her. The quantum readings from the third planet of this unremarkable solar system made no sense. She had checked the calculations 17 times. Administrator, she transmitted to her superior, her thoughts carrying a weight of urgency that couldn't be ignored. You need to see this immediately. The response came instantly. Administrator Krull materialized in her chamber, his form composed of swirling light particles, a holographic projection from the Institute's central hub light years away. What have you found, Zara Vex? Look at these quantum signatures, she gestured, manipulating the holographic display with practiced precision. This planet, Earth, its inhabitants are achieving quantum coherence at room temperature. Not in laboratories, not in controlled environments, but in their neural networks. In their brains. Krull's holographic form flickered with disbelief. Impossible. No biological system could maintain quantum coherence at such temperatures. The decoherence would be instant. That's what makes this remarkable. Zara Vex continued, her excitement barely contained. They're not just maintaining it, they're using it. Their consciousness, their very thought processes, operate partially in a quantum state. It's why our previous observations missed it. We were looking for technological advancement, not biological quantum computing. The implications were staggering. While other species had achieved quantum computing through incredibly advanced technology and near absolute zero temperatures, these humans were doing it naturally, in their warm, wet brains. How many know about this? Krull demanded, his form solidifying with concern. Just my team. And now you, Administrator. But there's more. Zara Vex brought up another display, this one showing cultural and technological development curves. Look at their rate of advancement. It's exponential. They went from primitive combustion engines to quantum experimentation in less than 2 centuries. No other species has ever shown such rapid development. Because their minds are quantum processors, Krull whispered, understanding dawning. They're not just thinking linearly, they're processing possibilities in parallel. Every human brain is performing calculations that our most advanced quantum computers struggle with. Zara Vex nodded. And they don't even know it. They call it intuition or creativity. They think it's normal. Administrator, we need to establish contact. The potential for learning, for advancement. No. Krull's interruption was sharp, his holographic form pulsing with anxiety. We observe only. If what you're saying is true, these humans are too dangerous to approach directly. Think about it, Zara Vex. A species that can process quantum information biologically, that can adapt and innovate at exponential rates, that doesn't even understand its own capabilities yet. They're not ready for contact, and more importantly, the galaxy isn't ready for them. But it was too late. As they spoke, a human researcher in a small laboratory in Geneva was noticing some very strange patterns in her quantum entanglement experiments. Patterns that suggested someone was watching. And humans, with their quantum-enhanced curiosity, never could resist a mystery. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her results with growing excitement. The quantum particles in her experiment were showing correlation patterns that couldn't be explained by any known natural phenomenon. As she ran the numbers again, her mind already racing through possibilities, she didn't realize that she was demonstrating exactly what made humans so special and so terrifying to the rest of the galaxy. In her tiny lab, working with equipment that the Galactic Research Institute would consider primitive, she was about to crack open a door that advanced civilizations had been trying to open for millennia. And she was doing it not through brute force computation or advanced technology, but through that uniquely human combination of quantum-enhanced intuition and relentless curiosity. The discovery that would change everything wasn't going to come from the advanced alien civilizations watching Earth. It was going to come from a species that couldn't leave well enough alone, that saw mysteries not as warnings but as invitations. As Zara Vex continued her observations, She felt a shiver of both excitement and fear. The humans were about to change everything, and the galaxy would never be the same. The test. The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Confederation hummed with nervous energy as representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered to address what many now call the Earth question. The discovery of humanity's quantum neural capabilities had sent shockwaves through the galactic community. Administrator Krell stood before the assembly, his usual confidence shaken by recent events. Distinguished representatives, we can no longer maintain our policy of non-intervention. Dr. Chen's quantum experiments have already detected our observation methods. It's only a matter of time before they achieve full quantum communication capabilities. A murmur rippled through the chamber. The Arcturian ambassador, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix, pulsed with concern. Then we must act now, while we still hold technological superiority. These humans, with their biological quantum processing, represent an unprecedented threat. No, Zara Vex interrupted, stepping forward. Her recent promotion to Special Advisor on Human Affairs had been controversial, but no one could deny her expertise. Direct intervention would be catastrophic. I propose something different. A test. The chamber fell silent. Testing new species wasn't unprecedented, but it was rarely done with such advanced civilizations. Usually, species were tested long before they achieved quantum awareness. What kind of test? The hive mind of Proxima Centauri buzzed, its million voices speaking as one. Zara Vex activated a holographic display, showing a complex mathematical problem. We present them with an impossible challenge, something that should take centuries to solve. We make it look like a natural phenomenon, a quantum anomaly in their solar system. Then we watch how they respond. The council erupted in debate. Some argued it was too risky, others that it wasn't enough. But Zara Vex knew something they didn't. She had been watching humans long enough to understand their true power wasn't in their quantum-enhanced brains. It was in their inability to accept limitations. 3 months later, Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her instruments in disbelief. The quantum anomaly that had appeared near Jupiter's orbit defied every known law of physics. Her lab at CERN had been working around the clock, along with every other major research facility on Earth, trying to understand it. It's like a puzzle box, she muttered to herself, studying the complex patterns of quantum entanglement. No, not a box. A test. Her colleague, Dr. James Martinez, looked up from his own calculations. A test. You think this is artificial? Sarah nodded slowly, her quantum-enhanced intuition piecing together patterns that conventional logic would miss. Look at the structure. It's too perfect, too deliberately complex. Someone wanted us to find this, to solve it. In the observation pod high above Earth's solar system, Zara Vex watched with growing amazement as humans around the world collaborated on the problem. They weren't just approaching it from one angle. They were attacking it from every conceivable direction simultaneously. Traditional physicists worked alongside quantum theorists. Mathematicians collaborated with artists. Children's wild ideas were considered alongside supercomputer simulations. It was chaos, but chaos with a purpose. They're doing it wrong, Administrator Krell observed, his holographic form showing signs of distress. The solution requires sequential quantum processing at a galactic scale. They can't possibly. They're not trying to solve it the way we would. Zara Vex interrupted, her excitement growing. They're not even trying to solve it the way we designed it to be solved. They're changing the parameters of the problem itself. On Earth, Sarah Chen had reached the same conclusion. We don't need to solve the puzzle, she announced to the global research team. We need to change how we look at it. It's not about finding the right answer. It's about questioning the question itself. The human approach was fundamentally different from anything the Galactic Confederation had anticipated. Instead of trying to process the quantum information sequentially, they were using their unique neural architecture to process all possibilities simultaneously, while also questioning the very framework of the challenge. In the council chamber, alarms began blaring. The impossible was happening. Humans weren't just solving the test, they were rewriting it, transforming what was meant to be an insurmountable challenge into something entirely new. Stop them, the Arcturian ambassador demanded. They're not just solving the puzzle, they're changing the fundamental quantum structure of the test itself. Do you realize what this means? Zaravex knew exactly what it meant. Humans hadn't just demonstrated their problem-solving abilities. They had proven they could rewrite the rules of reality itself. The test had revealed something far more significant than their quantum processing capabilities. It had shown that humans, when faced with an impossible problem, didn't just try to solve it. They changed the nature of impossibility itself. The revelation. The Galactic Confederation's most advanced research facility orbited a neutron star, its quantum computers cooled to near absolute zero. Here, the brightest minds in the galaxy gathered to understand what exactly had happened during humanity's test. Dr. Krell, the facility's lead researcher and nephew of Administrator Krell, manipulated the holographic display with his 4 upper appendages, while his lower ones maintained precise control over the quantum interface. "The data makes no sense," he announced to the assembled team. "Humans aren't just processing quantum information. They're actively manipulating quantum fields through pure thought." Zaravex, now promoted to Director of Human Studies, moved closer to examine the display. The neural patterns from their human observations pulsed with complex rhythms that defied conventional understanding. "Show me the comparison with other species' neural architectures." The display split, showing brain patterns from a dozen advanced civilizations. All showed linear processing, even those augmented with quantum technology. But the human patterns were different. They formed intricate, interconnected webs that seemed to exist in multiple quantum states simultaneously. "It's not just their individual brains," Krell continued, his voice trembling with excitement and fear. "When humans collaborate, their quantum neural networks begin to synchronize. They create temporary quantum entanglement networks without any technological assistance. Every brainstorming session, every collaborative project, they're literally linking minds at a quantum level." On Earth, unaware of the galactic scrutiny they were under, humanity continued to push boundaries. Dr. Sarah Chen and her team had moved beyond merely studying the quantum anomaly near Jupiter. They had begun to replicate aspects of it in their lab. The patterns we're seeing, Sarah explained to a packed auditorium of international scientists, suggest that consciousness itself might be a quantum phenomenon. We're not just observing quantum effects. We're part of them. Our thoughts, our creativity, our intuition. They're all quantum processes. In the research facility, Zaravex watched the transmission with growing concern. "They're figuring it out on their own, much faster than we anticipated." "There's more," Krell added, bringing up new data. "We've discovered why humans advance so rapidly compared to other species. Their quantum neural networks don't just process information. They actively seek out quantum entanglement with their environment. Every human is unconsciously scanning reality at a quantum level, looking for patterns, possibilities, connections that other species can't even perceive." The implications were staggering. Humans weren't just clever tool users who had stumbled upon quantum mechanics. They were quantum beings who had learned to use physical tools. Their technology wasn't advancing them. It was catching up to what their minds could already do naturally. "Show me the creativity simulations," Zaravex requested. Krell complied, and the holographic display filled with data from human artistic and scientific endeavors. "Look at this pattern. When humans create something new, whether it's art or technology, they're not just combining existing elements. They're pulling possibilities from quantum superpositions into reality." "They're reality hackers," Krell whispered. "Every human invention, every piece of art, every new idea, they're reaching into quantum possibility space and making their choices real." The facility's alarms suddenly blared. On the main display, energy readings from Earth spiked dramatically. Dr. Chen's team had just successfully generated a controlled quantum field identical to the one in their test, but on a smaller scale. Impossible, Corell breathed. They replicated our technology without even understanding the principles behind it. They just intuited their way into quantum engineering. Zaravex felt a chill run through her crystalline form. No, Corell. They didn't replicate our technology. They developed something new, something we never thought of. They're not following our path of scientific development. They're creating their own. In the facility's central chamber, the greatest minds in the galaxy gathered to face an uncomfortable truth. Humanity wasn't just another emerging species to be guided and controlled. They were something entirely new, a species that had evolved to manipulate quantum reality as naturally as others manipulated matter. We have to tell the Council, Corell insisted. This changes everything we thought we knew about consciousness, about evolution, about the very nature of intelligence. The Council already fears them, Zaravex countered. This knowledge will only increase that fear, but fear isn't the answer. Humans aren't a threat to be contained. They're a revolution in the making. They don't just think outside the box. They don't even see the box. To them, reality itself is malleable, full of endless possibilities. As if to punctuate her point, new data streamed in from Earth. Dr. Chen's team had just published their findings, freely sharing their discoveries with the world. In typical human fashion, they hadn't just solved one problem. They had opened up dozens of new avenues of research, asking questions that had never occurred to even the most advanced galactic civilizations. The crisis. The emergency session of the Galactic Confederation began in chaos. Representatives from across the galaxy spoke over each other, their voices filled with barely contained panic. At the center of the chamber, a holographic display showed the approaching anomaly, a wave of quantum destabilization that threatened to unravel the very fabric of space-time. The wave has already consumed 3 star systems, Administrator Krull announced, his voice cutting through the noise. Our most advanced quantum computers calculate that it will reach the core worlds within 6 months. None of our technology can stop it. The Arcturian ambassador's crystalline form pulsed with distress. How is this possible? We're the most advanced civilizations in known space. There must be something we can do. Zaravex stood silently, watching the simulation of the wave's progress. She had already reached a conclusion that the Council wouldn't like. Corell, standing beside her, knew what she was thinking. We need the humans, he said quietly. The chamber fell silent. All eyes turned to them. Absolutely not. The hive mind of Proxima Centauri buzzed. We've seen what they can do. Their quantum abilities are unprecedented, uncontrolled. They're dangerous. More dangerous than the wave. Zaravex challenged. We've just discovered that humans naturally manipulate quantum fields with their consciousness. They don't just observe quantum effects. They interact with them, shape them, understand them in ways we never could. They might be our only hope. On Earth, Dr. Sarah Chen and her team had already detected the quantum disturbance. Their recently developed sensors, born from their study of the test near Jupiter, had picked up the wave's earliest ripples. Whatever it is, it's not natural, Sarah explained to an emergency meeting of the World Science Council. The quantum field disruption shows patterns of organization. It's like reality itself is being systematically unwritten. James Martinez, now leading his own quantum research team, pulled up their latest readings. The wave doesn't just destroy matter. It erases the quantum possibilities that allow matter to exist in the first place. It's not just an extinction-level event. It's an existence-level event. In orbit above Earth, a Confederation ship decloaked. The time for hiding was over. Humanity's first official contact with alien life would come not with celebration, but with desperate necessity. Zaravex led the delegation herself, materializing in the World Science Council chamber. The humans, to their credit, showed remarkably little surprise at the appearance of crystalline aliens in their midst. Their quantum-enhanced minds had already sensed something was coming. Dr. Chen, Zarevex addressed Sarah directly. We need your help. All of humanity's help. What you call reality is about to end, not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy. Sarah studied the alien's crystalline form, her mind already processing quantum patterns she could barely perceive before. The wave, you know what it is. No, Zarevex admitted. We don't. Our technology, advanced as it is, can't even properly analyze it. But you humans, you see quantum reality differently. You don't just observe it. You're part of it. You might be able to understand what we cannot. The next few weeks saw unprecedented collaboration between human and alien scientists. While Confederation quantum computers processed data through rigid algorithms, human minds approached the problem with their characteristic quantum intuition. You're thinking about it wrong, Sarah explained to Corell as they worked in the combined Earth Confederation laboratory. You're trying to stop the wave, but you can't stop something that exists in quantum superposition. You have to change the nature of the superposition itself. Corell's crystalline form flickered with confusion. That's not possible. Quantum states are fundamental. They can't be changed. Sarah smiled. Can't they? Watch. She closed her eyes, and the quantum sensors around them lit up with activity. The local quantum field began to shift, not through technology, but through pure human consciousness. How? Corell whispered. We don't just observe quantum states, Sarah explained. We dream them. Every human imagination is a quantum computer running simulations of possibility. When we create, when we imagine, we're not just thinking. We're reaching into the quantum fabric of reality itself. As the wave drew closer, humanity's approach to the problem proved as unexpected as everything else about them. They didn't try to build bigger machines or stronger shields. Instead, they proposed something that had never occurred to the Confederation. A galaxy-wide network of human consciousness, linked through quantum entanglement, collectively dreaming new possibilities into existence. The partnership. The combined quantum consciousness of humanity spread across the galaxy like a web of light. In observation chambers throughout Confederation space, alien scientists watched in awe as billions of human minds synchronized their quantum fields, creating patterns of impossible complexity. It's beautiful, Zarevex whispered, her crystalline form resonating with the quantum harmonies. The display showed the approaching wave of destruction meeting the expanding field of human consciousness. Where they touched, reality itself seemed to hold its breath. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the heart of it all, her mind both individual and part of the vast human network. Through the quantum link, she felt every human consciousness contributing to the whole. Artists imagining new forms of reality, scientists theorizing new laws of physics, children dreaming impossible dreams. Even those who didn't understand the science were part of it, their minds adding to the quantum chorus. We're not fighting the wave, Sarah explained to the assembled Confederation representatives, her voice calm despite the strain of maintaining the quantum network. We're teaching it new possibilities. The wave of destruction that had consumed 3 star systems met something it had never encountered before. A species that could rewrite quantum rules through sheer force of collective imagination. Where the wave sought to unravel reality, human consciousness proposed new patterns, new possibilities, new ways for reality to exist. In the Confederation's quantum research facility, Corell's instruments were registering phenomena that defied explanation. The humans aren't just stopping the wave, he reported, his voice filled with wonder. They're transforming it. The quantum destabilization is being converted into potential, Administrator Corell finished, watching the displays. Where the wave had been destroying reality, now it was seeding new possibilities. The human quantum network wasn't just preserving existence, it was enriching it. The Arcturian ambassador's crystalline form pulsed with understanding. They're not defenders of reality, he said. They're gardeners of it. Where we saw destruction, they saw an opportunity for creation. Throughout the galaxy, the effects were becoming clear. The wave that should have ended existence instead became a catalyst for something new. Quantum fields that had remained static for billions of years began to pulse with new patterns. Reality itself seemed to become more vibrant, more alive with possibility. In the World Science Council chamber, James Martinez monitored the quantum network's effects. "It's like we're teaching the universe to dream," he said. "Every human mind in the network is contributing not just energy or processing power, but imagination. We're showing reality itself that it can be more than it is." The hive mind of Proxima Centauri, which had once feared human unpredictability, now buzzed with excitement. "They are not just problem solvers," its million voices proclaimed. "They are possibility makers. Every human is a quantum artist, painting with the colors of probability itself." As the transformed wave swept harmlessly through the galaxy, leaving enhanced quantum fields in its wake, the Confederation faced a new reality. Humanity wasn't just another species to be guided or contained. They were teachers, showing the galaxy new ways to interact with the quantum fabric of existence. "We were wrong to fear them," Zarevex addressed the Council. "Their quantum abilities, their creativity, their endless capacity for imagining new possibilities, these aren't weapons to be contained. They're gifts to be shared." The partnership that emerged transformed both humanity and the Confederation. Human quantum consciousness techniques were taught throughout the galaxy, while alien technologies enhanced humanity's ability to perceive and interact with quantum fields. Together, they began exploring not just physical space, but the vast ocean of quantum possibility that had always existed beneath visible reality. Sarah Chen, standing in the newly established Quantum Consciousness Academy on Earth, watched as humans and aliens learned together. Crystal beings meditated alongside humans, learning to dream. Hivemans explored individual consciousness. Energy beings studied human art, trying to understand how imagination could reshape reality. "We never needed to be the most advanced, the most powerful, or the most technologically sophisticated," she told her mixed class of human and alien students. "We just needed to be what we've always been. Dreamers who never accepted that anything was truly impossible." In the quantum fields that permeated the galaxy, human consciousness continued to dance with alien minds, teaching and learning, creating and exploring. The crisis that had threatened to end everything had instead begun something new, a partnership between those who had mastered the physical universe and those who had learned to dream new universes into being. And in the vast quantum web that now connected all sapient life, the galaxy itself seemed to dream bigger dreams than ever before.